Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show that we are discussing today and want to avoid spoilers, stop right there. Go binge and come on back. If you have or don't mind spoilers, sit back with your favorite drink and enjoy. Hola.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
What's up?
Not much. Welcome back
Welcome back.
for another episode of Coffee and Dramas.
Woohoo!
I thought I was going to say Dragon Ball Z.
Why not? It always works.
Usually. So welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Our third consecutive episode since our
third?
hiatus, or second episode. I don't even
think it's
remember.
second.
Probably second. I lose count too often. Hope everyone's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Today is gonna be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense that it's still about K-dramas.
Yeah.
But we do have a special guest today,
Boot.
Mr. Martin Fisher, from England, from the UK.
Nice.
He's a comic book writer. He writes for Lego Star Wars magazine,
Mm-hmm.
as well as hello? Okay. He also
Okay,
so
I
he
hear
writes Lego Star Wars magazine,
Mhm.
Lego Jurassic Park magazine. He's written and he writes for Lego Batman magazine.
That's cool.
In the UK. So he's working on a new project
Mm-hmm.
that is based on K-dramas.
Yeah.
And it's not surprising, but it's like very different than what he usually
Mm-hmm.
right. If you see his resume of what he's worked on, it's kind of like, sci-fi, superhero, fantasy type of stuff to K-dramas.
But technically, K-dramas, a lot of them are sci-fi, fantasy.
No, I know, but like
So
Lego
is it
Star
much
Wars, from Lego
different?
Star Wars to
That's true. Yeah.
True Beauty. Like,
Yeah.
come on now. So he's going to be on here. We're going to discuss his new comic book project called The Radiant Sight.
Mm-hmm. It's cute, little.
Yeah, we got to read the preview of it.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's really cute. I think he said it comes out in September.
Nice.
He'll let us know once we get our thing going. And he is an avid K-drama fan.
Nice.
I was talking to him. We were discussing different shows.
Mm-hmm.
He was watching the last episode of Because This Is My First Life with Lee Min Ki. And then we were talking about other dramas, and I think he mostly watches most of them on Netflix.
Mm.
But the UK,
Mm-hmm.
so when we were in London a couple years ago,
They have more selection, don't they?
they have such an amazing selection. They have such a wide selection, a bigger selection of
Mm-hmm.
K-dramas on Netflix in the UK. And I was really sad because when we went there and I was watching it on my phone, I'm like, oh my God, what are these shows? Why don't we have them here?
And then you came back here and they were
And
gone.
then they were gone. So I was really sad about that. But
Come on, Canadian Netflix.
yeah,
Let's go with
man, Canadian American Netflix. What the hell is this? So there are some shows that we have that he doesn't.
Mhm.
So I was telling him that we were watching Touch Your Heart
it. Mm.
with Lee Dunwook and Yuena.
Yeah.
He wants to watch it, but he doesn't. It's not on the UK Netflix.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, interesting.
That's where VPN comes in.
This is VPN, Vicky Rakuten. Excuse me. It sucks because it's like there's so many streaming platforms
Mm-hmm.
right now. So it's like you have Netflix, HBO Max, Crave, YouTube Plus. What else is there? And then you got like Vicky Rakuten, and then you have EIQIE. I don't know how to pronounce it the way they pronounce it. That's more like more Chinese dramas, but it has some Korean and Japanese stuff. WeTV for
Disney.
Chinese stuff. Disney, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. So many different freaking streaming platforms. So many. Some of them are like Disney is mostly, obviously,
It's
it
Disney.
is. It's just all their Disney stuff.
Yeah.
They have so much property because they own
So
Marvel
much.
and Fox and like a bunch of different companies that create these things, right? So that's like.
But doesn't Marvel and
specific to
DC have their own?
Oh, DC. Oh, DC has
DC
their
has
own.
their own?
DC has their own. Marvel is under Disney.
It's
So
crazy.
DC has their own, which I have not yet ever even bothered. Like we watched Teen Titans, but we watched Teen Titans on Netflix,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, Titans as they call it on Netflix. So I didn't need to because it was the only show I really wanted to watch.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Just subscribing to those, you would be like $150, $200 if you like did all of them.
yeah, because it's like if you did all of them, it'd be as if you're paying for cable at that point.
Yeah. Is it even worth it?
No. I don't. I honestly like. I don't use Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Like I use Prime for shipping and
Yeah.
like buying stuff, but I don't use the music or the video streaming because
Yeah.
I don't really
Care for it.
Yeah, like all the Chinese shows that are on there, there's WeTV and Viki has them, and Netflix has a bunch of them. So I don't use it. I pay for it, but I don't use it. But I'm not paying for that service. I'm paying for a different service for Amazon, Netflix and Viki, and then I don't want to. I'm not paying for Disney. I'm not paying for HBO. I'm not paying for Crave. No. I refuse.
It's too much.
It is too much.
But like that's why this probably isn't necessarily good to say out loud, but like when you have a family of your size, everyone should buy one subscription and then share it.
Yeah, a few of us do share it.
Yeah.
Like I should my parents, my brother and I, we share mine.
Yeah.
For Netflix.
But like one person should get Disney, one person should get Netflix, one person should have HBO.
Someone gave us HBO, but you can't have HBO at the same time as the other one. I think you can only have it unlimited of like 2 or something like that.
There's a limit of 4, and if you want to switch it, you have to go online to change it.
Whereas like
and it's just like it's so not even worth it.
Yeah, where Netflix, it's like it just logs you out once you hit the max, and you log in somewhere else. It logs you out of somewhere else, which is fine. Which is I find much better.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget Spotify too. Oh, too many subscriptions. Too much. Okay. Anyways,
because we don't have that many though. You have 3.
I know. Okay, but I mean, like, it's just like in general, there's so many subscriptions, right?
Well, that's where it's going, right?
Yeah, and I saw this coming. I knew it was gonna like cable was going to shit. Like no one wants
cable
to.
Sucks.
Well, no, like the amount of commercials that you have now compared to when we were kids.
Yeah. Is worse, no?
It's getting worse. Like your scripts that you're writing for a 60-minute show used to be about 50, maybe 52 pages. Now it's down to like 46 to 48 pages. Just you're getting 48 minutes.
But like no one wants to watch the commercials.
You know what I mean?
Like,
but again, the commercials are what pays for
like,
everything, right?
Yeah, when we go to like our parents' house and they're watching cable and like commercial comes on, we're like, oh, okay. And then another commercial. And another one. And another one. And another one.
Change it.
And another one.
After the third commercial, I'd change the channel.
Yeah.
I can't.
And they're all like 30 seconds long. So like 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, okay, the show's back finally.
Yeah, I can't do it.
It's horrible.
Yeah. So our guest will be on with us shortly. Are you okay to start?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
I'm happy.
Did you want to just introduce yourself to our audience today?
Yeah, so I'm Martin. I'm a writer based in the UK, and currently I have the good fortune to be doing 2 books for Lego in Star Wars and Batman, which are monthly and bi-monthly books that are published currently mainly in the European market. So sadly, they're not in Canada and they're not in America. But you can always go online to get them shipped over.
That's right. That's awesome. That is so cool. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so this is this is awesome.
Yeah, well, same here. You know, I was to kind of show my age. I was born in the year that Star Wars came out.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh,
Yeah.
you're the same age as my sister, so
Oh, right, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I was born approximately 1 month before it came out in the UK.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
nice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So did they? I feel like in the 80s or 90s they re-released it in theaters. Did they not?
Yeah, for the 20th anniversary, they did the special editions
That's
that came
right.
out in '97.
Okay, okay, and you got to see that in theaters instead of originally in the
Well,
'77.
luckily, I did get to see the original versions in the theaters anyway, because one of my lasting memories of Star Wars is my parents actually took me to see Return of the Jedi when it came out in 1983
Oh,
in London. And did you guys know the Dominion Theatre in London?
yes.
But yeah, well, that
Yeah.
originally was a cinema before it was a theatre.
Oh,
And
cool.
Awesome.
we went to the Dominion Cinema to see Return of the Jedi.
That's awesome. Oh
Yeah,
man. Is
my
that
my last yeah, I mean my lasting memory of that day is not only seeing the movie, but in the lobby of the cinema before we saw the film, there was like a guy who was selling T-shirts, and I think they cost about £5 or £7. And my dad basically said, "Do you want one?" And I did. I picked a black one with Luke and Vader on it, and
nice?
my dad always tells me that I just refused to take that T-shirt off a lot.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah, but then after that, I got to see Empire after Jedi because they re-released all three films back to back in about 1984, 85 in the UK.
Oh, nice.
And so it was a bit confusing to see all the stuff with going to see Yoda and Luke's hand and Vader being the daddy and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when you're that age, you're not paying a lot of attention to all those kind of
No,
details.
there's like so much going on that you're just
Yeah,
kind of like in awe the entire time.
yeah, pretty much. And then it was around about the early '90s. A local cinema had the original Star Wars playing,
Oh,
but before the special edition. So got to see that in the cinema. So that's how I got to see all three of them before the special editions.
wow.
That's cool.
That's awesome. I think
Not to,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, not to. I've got a lot of Star Wars memories. Not to mention the seeing them for the first time on home cinema on Betamax, not VHS.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's amazing. I For me it was VHS. Were younger. We were born in the late 80s, so
Oh yeah,
I didn't get to see. Sadly saw the Phantom Menace in theaters,
mm.
but I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see the original three in theaters until they were re-released here in Canada.
uh,
But my mom, who is a big Star Wars fan as well, she's a big nerd. It's funny. She loves all the Star Wars, Star Trek, Power Rangers. She loves all this kind of like all the superhero comic book stuff. She loves it, and I find it funny because my mom's an immigrant from Lebanon, so
yeah,
it's really funny to see this little Lebanese lady who's excited to see, going to I would take my mom to midnight screenings to the Dark Knight and the new
oh yeah,
Spider-Man movies and stuff like that. She had the original VHSs from back when they were released, when they were first came out, because she came to Canada in '76,
yeah.
and when Star Wars came out in '77, she was there. First thing, she was
Yeah.
there, with a little baby in hand, so it was funny.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's so weird to kind of recall what it's like growing up with that because I still remember the first toys I had was the Millennium Falcon and an X-Wing.
Oh,
and I got them around about 1981, I think. And I think they were a birthday gift, and those were my first ever Star Wars toys.
that's so awesome. Oh my
Amazing.
god.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Because I've been working on the current stuff. I've been to Lucasfilm twice,
Oh,
so I've been to San Francisco. I've seen like the offices. I haven't been to the ranch. I haven't been to Skywalker Ranch, but
oh, damn.
I've been to the Presidio, and that's a very nice place.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah. The dream place would be the ranch. I mean, once you go there, I don't think you ever want to leave.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Um, so your new comic, The Radiant Sight, right? That's what it's called, The Radiant Sight.
Yeah.
How did can you tell us about it just a little bit?
Yeah, so the premise of it is inspired by the numerous K dramas that I've been watching for about 2 years now.
Nice.
And the simple premise is that a lady called Kim Bittner lives in a poor town on the out, and like in the distance is a very, very nice part of town
Okay.
where the rich and the wealthy reside. And basically, she inherits a dress unexpectedly. And then she finds when she wears that dress, anyone who sees her in it, whether they be man or woman, just basically thinks that she is the most beautiful person they've ever seen. No matter what. And then it starts to get complicated when she meets a CEO at the party when she wears it for the first time, and she kind of falls in love with him.
Right.
And she essentially runs off from the party without telling this guy who she is. So after that, the guy in question, Thomas, who is a traditional kind of chaebol heir to the throne,
Yeah.
he kind of sets out to find who she is, while Bittner starts to realize, well, how can I improve my situation while I'm actually in this dress? Because I can do quite a lot with it. And and because she lives with her best friend as well,
Right.
and she starts to figure out, what can we do here, because we can really get out of trouble by me just wearing this dress.
Right.
And then it starts to go twisty and turny in different ways as the story kind of plays itself out.
That's honestly, that's amazing. Like when we got to read the preview, the first few pages, it was you kind of got that sense like, okay, this is gonna go. There's gonna be a young CEO that's gonna show up here at one point or another and kind of turn her world upside down almost.
Yeah, it's kind of both characters will essentially do that to themselves.
Okay.
As the story plays itself out. So what you saw is a small snippet of what is intending to be a 6-part series to wrap the whole thing up.
Oh, okay.
So we're hoping that if we get the necessary funding, at least for part 1, we can keep carrying on and get the other 5 parts funded and complete the series.
Right. Oh, that'd be great. What did you have any specific shows that really helped you inspire the story kind of thing? Like any specific shows that kind of like, oh, this kind of gave you the ideas while you're watching it?
There's a couple of shows that I did see, which is essentially about duality, one was I Am Not a Robot.
Oh, yes.
Where she pretends to be a robot, and then on the other hand, she's not the robot.
Right, yeah. Oh,
and
yes.
She's trying to balance the two out. And the other one is The Secret Life of My Secretary.
Oh, Nadia hasn't watched that yet, but I watched that. So good.
Okay, yeah. So, both characters in that are essentially trying to balance out what's going on without trying to reveal the stuff that they've hidden.
Yeah. That's really good. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's you get quite a few like stories in K-dramas where you have that duality where one character falls in love with the other, and then because they so want to be with that other person that they fall into like a lie,
Yeah.
and then they just keep on playing it out, and then they string other people along with it to see how it kind of plays itself out, and if they do actually get that person at the end of it.
Yeah. There was quite a bit. Actually, that's actually part of my next question, because we do on Coffee and Dramas, we talk a lot about the themes in the shows. So, what are kind of the themes you're trying to show with the story of Bitna?
The ultimate theme, I think, is acceptance of being who you are without necessarily trying to change everything about you to fit the world that you live in. So
I like that.
In this case, because Bitna and her best friend Chloe, because they do live in that really poor part of town,
right?
And it's, as you saw in the preview, they just want to get out. They just want something better.
Yeah.
But one of the themes that does go through the story is Bitna is scared that if Thomas finds out who she really is, when she's not wearing the dress, that she may get rejected.
Right.
Because she is poor, because she comes from a poor part of town.
Yeah, and she doesn't. So she doesn't think that she's worthy enough for him, kind of thing. Okay. Oh, see, I like those. That's great. See, I whenever I read comics, watch shows, I always try and look for things that you can kind of relate to, so it makes like the story a lot. For me, anyways, it gives more meaning to the stories if you can relate to it in a sense, right?
One of the other themes, I think, is temptation as well, because an analogy for the dress that Bitna wears is it's kind of similar to the ring from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
That ring is a corrupting object, is it not?
Right. That's right.
It, in its own right, it's alive. But I mean, in this series, the dress is not alive, but the effects that it has on the people who see it and the person who wears it is similarly corrupting.
Right.
Because the person who wears the dress knows that, if I meet someone who happens to have a few $1 million or a few billion won in the bank, probably a good chance I can get some of that.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's see that. Yeah. That's a great analogy. I like that. Very. It's almost like a dark side to the story kind of thing.
Yeah. So even though you see this bright, sparkly dress and you see this bright, sparkly person who wears it, it does come at a price.
Right.
So it's another thing you'll see, because Bitna inherits the dress from an aunt, and it's an aunt that she never knows about. And you'll see throughout the story why she never knew she had this aunt, and you'll see some of the history of the dress and what it has kind of previously done to her family.
That's okay. Yeah, this is like, I'm getting more and more excited for this. Okay.
I mean, the whole story is planned out. The whole thing, from my perspective, is written. All the dialogue is done.
Okay.
It would just be a case of funding it, drawing it, coloring it, and putting it together.
How was because I'm like I inspired to be a writer one day. How was the writing process for this project, especially since it's like different than the usual stuff that you work on?
it's very similar the way it's planned out. So when we do, if it would be Star Wars or if it would be Batman, you have to send along like a story plot or a story idea, which explains the major beats of the story, and those have to be approved by either Lucasfilm for Star Wars, or for Batman it would be the Warner Brothers.
Okay.
And it's only then when you've kind of gone through all that, and they will often say, "Oh, this bit's okay, but can you change this bit?"
Okay.
And so then we do that, and then we have to send it back, and then usually we get the thumbs up, and then we would write the script after that.
Okay.
So for this story, when I started it, it was literally 5 or 6 lines as an idea of what the story is about, and then obviously you have to expand on that. So it was just a case of, I started to write the whole thing out with an ending in the back of the head, but I didn't know how many issues I had at the time. And then the publisher said, "Oh, you've got 6 issues to do this in," and I was like, "Oh, damn! I'm up to issue 5, and I'm not even at the halfway point yet. So I'm gonna have to go back and kind of refigure this thing out."
Okay.
So yeah, it was just a case of going through what I'd already done, taking bits out of it, shifting them into another document, basically, and then bringing the ending up much earlier than anticipated. But ultimately, it still worked.
Okay, that's good. Did it change kind of like the pace of the story when you had to do that?
Yes, it made it considerably faster.
Okay.
So originally there were other characters that were intending to have more depth, like Thomas's family. He's got 2 sisters. They were going to have more depth. They were going to have like their own families as well. But what's left is like just a couple of hints, because ultimately we have to focus on the story of just Bittner and Thomas,
right?
Because it is essentially, it's their romance story.
Right. So it's like you really kind of pulled in the focus from here to kind of like a tunnel vision on the 2 main characters.
Yeah, and obviously, so you've got Bittner's relationship with her best friend who she lives with, and then you've also got Thomas, he's trying to kind of get his parents, especially his mother, off his back, because often in K-dramas you have pushy parents, especially the mothers, who are trying to get the kids to get married.
Yeah.
You know, especially when there's a chaebol involved somewhere. So
yeah,
that's what we've got. We've got Thomas. He's kind of being pushed into finding a wife, and it's especially true of his mother. He's like, "Come on, go do it, do it."
Yeah, it's funny because it's very similar to like our culture and the Arab culture, where the parents, as soon as you're 18, 19, 20, they're like, "Okay, go get married, go have kids." Like they push. That's it. So like I get a good like nostalgic feeling whenever I see these shows with that in there.
Yeah, it's you see it a lot in K-dramas, so it would be wrong not to have it in there.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I have another question about the writing process, but more like for you as a writer, how do you go about writing a story? Like whenever you get an idea, do you kind of, we'll say, do you ever start kind of like, do you do start to finish? Like you have to start at the beginning of the story and tell the whole story? Or do you get bits and pieces of the story and you kind of write them and then put them together after?
Usually I just get a premise in the head, and that can start off with an image, like a simple image. I mean, I had an idea last week, and the basic image I had in my head was a wall of face masks, like not the COVID type, not those kind of face masks, but a full face mask, and just a wall of those hanging on it. And from that, I've managed to conceive of an idea that can play itself out.
Okay.
And you start with the basic premise, and then you just kind of go back and forward with it. You know, a lot of K-dramas like to play with time.
Yeah, that's true.
They often flash back to events that tie the two lead characters together in some way that they never knew they had.
Right, that's right.
Plays itself out.
Yeah.
And usually the process is quite fluid. Just think of a premise, and then just kind of build it up gradually. Layer it. You know, what do the characters want? What is the world like that they inhibit? What is their goal? What is standing in their way? What are they willing to do to overcome what is standing in their way? And then how much will their ambitions change them over the course of the story?
Right. Cool. That's interesting. I find it interesting to how different writers have different, perspectives on writing and how they write their ideas out and whatnot. It's really interesting. I find like writers, artists, musicians, they all have just, I could sit down and talk to, and like just, I would love to pick and see what kind of like, why did you make it sound this way, or why did you write it this way, kind of thing, and then see what comes out of it. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends is a K-pop writer.
Oh.
And it's the same thing with her. She could literally have a melody and just play it out, and then build upon it from that. I mean, it could be that melody could end up being the middle of the song, or it could end up being the start of the song.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
It's similar kind of process.
Right. I always find it interesting. Just it's amazing.
You just never know when something's going to enter in your head.
Yeah.
It's a totally random and kind of bizarre process. You could just be there trying to go to sleep, and then suddenly your mind says, "Hey, why don't you do this?" and you're going, "Will you shut up? I'm trying to go to sleep."
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you kind of go, "You know what? That's not a bad idea."
Yeah. I should write it down now. Oh man. Did you, when you were writing the characters, did you have anybody in mind when you were writing, kind of like designing the characters? Did you have any actors or celebrities in mind?
No, not a single one.
Oh, cool.
It was the publisher, Mike, who actually found Archie, who's the artist.
Okay.
And we just kind of said to him, the style you're going for is K-drama. Here's some examples of how they dress, of how, the chaebols, the rich people kind of dress in the dramas.
Yeah.
This is your reference.
Cool.
Go for it. Kind of draw what you see.
Oh.
And he did.
Was there many changes that you had to do from his initial designs?
No, none at all, because ultimately it's a book where it's more than just what I think it should be. It's also up to what Archie thinks it should kind of look like as well. It's a team process.
Yeah.
So it's only kind of fair that he should feel free to kind of express himself as he wants.
Of course.
As well, I don't think we've really changed anything at all at the moment. I mean, the pages you've seen are the only ones that we've kind of got finished.
Okay.
So, generally we've not really said anything. We've just kind of we might have said, "Oh, put a crack in the wall. It's not dirty enough," or something like that.
Okay.
It's not layered enough. It's the same with the colours. We've got two colorists from Germany who actually also work on the Lego stuff.
Oh, cool.
As well, Yannick and Ellen, and we've occasionally said to them about, can you make the town look more grungy, make it look more downtrodden, or put a cover. Can you make the dress more sparkly? Just those little things that we've asked them to do.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. So it's almost like the project that you're like the project for the Radiant site. It's almost like it's a freedom of expression because you're not really dictating much of what the artist is doing.
It's a collaboration.
Right.
At the end of the day,
yeah.
I'm not working for Marvel. I'm not working for DC Comics. So it's hardly fair for me to kind of be so dictatorial,
right,
about how the comic should look. As long as we kind of keep it to that K-drama influence and that style, then it will work.
Oh, nice. I like that. That's amazing. One question, actually regarding K-pop, because we have a segment that we do called What's Poppin', and we just kind of discuss what we've been listening to recently. Is there anything you've been listening to recently?
I keep an eye out for everything that Twice does.
Oh, nice.
But
I
don't love everything they've done recently at the moment, though. I have to admit.
Okay.
So, but I still keep a sharp eye out on what JYP have gotten doing.
Yeah, I feel it. I don't know, their recent song "Alcohol Free."
Yeah.
I find it a little. I don't know. It was not as poppy, not as I don't know. I'm used to like the songs like TT and Fancy where they're like.
Yeah, they've got those songs have like energy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word.
Popping, but Alcohol Free was extremely laid back.
Yeah. Yes.
And because it had that Spanish influence,
right?
That Latino influence to the track as well. It was just very laid back.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I would love it if JYP would give them a track similar to what JYP and Rain did with Switch to Me.
Yes.
That New Jack Swing sound.
Yeah, that would be. Oh, that would sound so good coming from Twice.
Well, did you see the Melody project that Daeun and Chaeyoung did?
Yes.
That's similar to what you've got. That's kind of similar to what you might get.
See, that's what they should do more often, I find. But that's just my opinion anyways. But yeah.
But so apart from keeping an eye on what Twice does, other stuff I've listened to recently would be Weekly as well. Okay. You know Weekly?
I don't. I have not.
Oh, okay. You got Weekly. You've got Stacy as well.
Stacy, yes.
Yeah. Lightsum as well.
Lightsum.
They did a track about maybe a month or two ago called Vanilla. It was their debut.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's their name. All right. I know that one.
Other ones I've listened to recently. Furnace 9 as well.
Furnace 9. Whoa, I am learning new things today. Furnace 9.
And Brave Girls as well.
Oh, Brave Girls, yes. I haven't listened to the newest one, but I like Brave Girls.
Oh, right. Oh, their track from their most recent album, Pool Party.
Yeah.
Love it. I love that track.
I have not been. I did not get a chance to listen to that yet. I need to.
Oh, okay. Other ones as well. Astro.
Yes. Astro.
Not the. I haven't heard the new one, but the one they had before that, which was One.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah. My friend co-wrote that song.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I know a lot of, I know one of the major writers for like EXO is LD Noise, and they're from the UK. And then
Okay.
there's a lot of UK writers that write for K-pop songs, and I mean like Canada's got to step up their game. Come on now, what is this?
Yeah, you'll be surprised at the amount of Westerners that actually write for K-pop. It's quite surprising.
That's awesome. Did they write anything else for us for any K-pop artists?
I'm trying to think of any other. I don't know any other writers other than my friend.
Okay.
Well, there's my other friend who has written for K-pop in the past, but she hasn't done anything recently.
No. Okay.
For like a couple of years, but I know she did at least one track for Red Velvet.
Ooh.
I can't remember offhand which track it was.
Damn.
Off the top of my head, but I know she did it.
That's awesome.
I'm just trying to think of some of the other tracks that I may have listened to recently. I keep on going through the Twice back catalogue quite often because they just have a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
When they're out.
Oh
They
yeah.
really.
I think I feel like JYP like really prefers Twice over his other artists.
Nizu, they have had a couple of tracks out I quite liked.
Oh, I haven't listened to anything recently, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, and Rocket Punch, they had a track out a couple of months ago, which was really good.
Rocket Punch. Oh,
Yeah.
Are they their? Is this their? Because I feel like, unless I'm just like, my mind is COVID and like no time doesn't matter anymore. Are they're a new group, are they not? Or like they debuted last year?
Yeah, they may be like a year old. They're still
Yeah, okay, so it is them. All right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think maybe they're about a year old now, if I had to guess.
That's okay. That's what I'm thinking too. I just like with COVID kind of messing up with the time in my mind right now.
Yeah.
I think think last year was actually 2 years ago, but it wasn't. So
yeah,
it's
the most recent BTS tracks, the English tracks, have been great as well.
Yeah, they've been actually. I honestly prefer them over Dynamite, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Permission to Land, out of the 3 tracks, I would say Permission to Land's probably my favorite one.
Yeah. I've been trying to. A friend of mine who does house music, he's trying to remix that song into kind of a 80s kind of dance song. So I'm really excited to see what he can do with that.
Yeah. Luna occasionally have had a couple of tracks out. I don't mind.
Not bad, actually. They're kind of different, but not too different. But I like them.
There's a track they had out. I don't know if it's an album track or it was a single track, which was called Starlight, and there was a Korean version and an English version.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I gotta see that.
Of that, and it's when you kind of hear it, you think, oh, it's like the basis of it is almost Blinding Lights by The Weeknd.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out. I like this.
All my girl as well. I've had some good ones out.
Oh yes, they're great. Have you heard of they just debuted not too long ago? Omega X.
What was that again?
Omega X.
No, I don't know Omega X.
They just debuted, honestly, I think at the end of June, I think, if I'm correct. They're only like a month and a half old, and they were taken from different groups that were like on hiatus or disbanded, and they kind of just put them together. Their debut track is called Vamos. So it has like a Spanish influence. It's like it's like almost like a, I want to say like a gangster rap, like as hard as a gangster rap, but not gangster rap, but kind of like hardcore dance. Like it's really dancey, but it's really like gritty almost. Like I like those kind of songs. So
okay. Have you ever heard anything by that virtual group KDA?
KDA? No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like a virtual, like Gorillas. This kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a CGI style female group, and they get a lot of different vocalists to tracks.
Oh.
And the one I really like actually has 3 members of Twice on it. Maybe 4 members of Twice were on my favorite track that they've brought out.
Ooh, that's awesome. Oh, okay.
When we stop recording, you and I are going to have a conversation.
We are. So, okay. Man, you've really given me a lot to listen to. This is awesome. This is quite awesome. Okay, before we end this, can you just tell our audience where we can find where they should be going to look for the new comic, The Radiant Sight?
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully there will be a link left to the sign-up page for the comic.
Yeah.
And then if you sign up early before we launch it in September, then you get 25% off the cover price.
Okay, awesome. And it's straight through Indiegogo, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's going to be crowdfunding on Indiegogo.
Awesome. I'll make sure that there's links in the description, and I'll put it in whenever I'll put it everywhere. I'll make sure it's everywhere.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome. Are you, just like a quick, are you doing by any chance, is it hard copies that you're doing for the comic? Or are you doing virtual copies?
No, it's I think you can get it virtually, but we are doing print copies as well.
Awesome. Okay. That was actually, I was curious about that, because I know a lot of comic artists now are all doing more digital than print copies, so that's good to know. I like physical. So that's, I'm good with that.
I mean PDFs are convenient for showing people, but then it's always good to feel it and know it's real.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's all the questions we had.
Cool.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm good. Unless there's anything else you guys can think of that you want to know.
Not at the moment. I think we got everything down. If there are anything else, we'll send you an email.
Yeah. Send me a message or stuff.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I mean, if you stop recording, we will continue conversing if you've got time.
Plenty of time. There,
Okay.
I'm gonna stop this here. So that was our special guest today. We appreciate Martin being on our show. I got to chat with him a little bit longer after our meeting there, and we have quite a bit in common. So it was great to meet him, great to speak to him, and we'll for sure be hearing from him soon. So check it out once it comes out, sometime in September. I'll have the links in the description for the comic, his comic, The Radiant Sight. And check it out, and check out any of the songs and shows we talked about today. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.